One of the biggest surprises that we got this year in boxing is that Tank Davis would get a robbery victory against Lamont Roach. I'll be honest, I don't think anyone saw that coming. Even the people that were picking Roach, I feel like a lot of them were picking bias against Tank. I was picking Tank to win by knockout, and honestly, guys, this was a clear-cut win for Lamont Roach. We can't even kid ourselves. There were not even that many swing rounds in this fight. I mean, let's be honest, guys. This fight was not very difficult to score. Larry Hazard was a complete joke, right? He had some of the worst scorecards I've ever seen in my life, and he still barely had Tank winning. And his scorecards were abysmal throughout the entire fight. No one took any of his scores seriously. No one put them into consideration. You have Abner Mares, absolutely hilarious. He's like, oh, Lamont Roach is getting too comfortable. When has a fighter that's been showing success in a fight been accused of being too comfortable because he's letting his hands go? I mean, that's absolutely embarrassing. I'm sorry. I had the fight scored 116 to 112 for Lamont Roach. Maybe 115, 113. Maybe 117, 111, right? But if we're being honest, Lamont Roach definitely should have gotten the nod here. He was hitting Tank with some big shots. Let's not mention that disgraceful call to not rule the knee a knockdown. If that was anyone else, it would have been ruled a knockdown. If it was Lamont Roach, it would have been ruled a knockdown. So that was a terrible call in its own right. And I don't want to hear anyone pick Tank to beat Shakur Stevenson. I mean, obviously anything's possible, but I've been saying for a while that Shakur Stevenson would win. I was clowned. I was hated on. Of course, big shocker. And now in hindsight, once again, I'm proven correct, as obviously Shakur didn't beat Tank, but I think it's pretty clear that Shakur would have won. All respect and love to Lamont Roach, but he was such a big underdog in this fight. No one expected him to do this, and he came out there and made an absolute tremendous performance of himself. I mean, he didn't fight with any fear. He actually looked like the bigger puncher tonight. If we're being honest, if you showed this fight to a non-boxing fan and asked, who do you think hits harder, most people would have probably said Lamont Roach. Anyhow, terrible decision. Lamont Roach should have gotten it. At least they didn't give it to Tank. Bro, anytime Jimmy Lennon announces a decision and he doesn't say split or majority and it's close, anytime Jimmy Lennon says, and these are our scorecards, you know it's going to be a draw whenever it's a close fight. So I knew instantly, the second he didn't say split or majority, I knew it would be a draw. And it's a shame, but Lamont Roach will have another opportunity to rematch most likely. I don't want to see a rematch unless Lamont Roach got the nod here. Because now if Tank does win the rematch, Lamont Roach will never have had that win. And honestly, I don't know who I'd pick in a rematch. Logic probably says Tank because I still feel like he's a better fighter. But in this fight, Lamont Roach made an absolute statement and deserved the victory tonight. What a shame, guys. 116 to 112 for Lamont Roach is my final scorecard.